Hi, it's October 10th of 2019. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here with me. Proverbs 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise child brings joy to a father. A foolish child brings grief to a mother. Tainted wealth has no lasting value, but right living can save your life. The Lord will not let the godly go hungry, but he refuses to satisfy the craving of the wicked. Lazy people are soon poor. Hard workers get rich. A wise youth harvests in the summer, but one who sleeps during harvest is a disgrace. The godly are showered with blessings. The words of the wicked conceal violent intentions. We have happy memories of the godly, but the name of the wicked person rots away. The wise are glad to be instructed, but babbling fools fall flat on their faces. People with integrity walk safely, but those who follow crooked paths will be exposed. People who wink at wrong cause trouble, but a bold reproof promotes peace. The words of the godly are a life-giving fountain. The words of the wicked conceal violent intentions. Hatred stirs up quarrels, but love makes up for all offenses. Wise words come from the lips of people with understanding, but those lacking sense will be beaten with a rod. Wise people treasure knowledge, but the babbling of a fool invites disaster. The wealth of the rich is their fortress. The poverty of the poor is their destruction. The earnings of the godly enhance their lives, but evil people squander their money on sin. People who accept discipline are on the pathway to life, but those who ignore correction will go astray. Hiding hatred makes you a liar. Slandering others makes you a fool. Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut. The words of the godly are like sterling silver. The heart of a fool is worthless. The words of the godly encourage many, but fools are destroyed by their lack of common sense. The blessing of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Doing wrong is fun for a fool, but living wisely brings pleasure to the sensible. The fears of the wicked will be fulfilled. The hopes of the godly will be granted. When the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. Lazy people irritate their employers, like vinegar to the teeth or smoke to the eyes. Fear of the Lord lengthens one's life, but years of the wicked are cut short. The hopes of the godly result in happiness, but the expectations of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to those with integrity, but it destroys the wicked. The godly will never be disturbed, but the wicked will be removed from the land. The mouth of the godly person gives wise advice, but the tongue that deceives will be cut off. The lips of the godly speak helpful words, but the mouth of the wicked speak perverse words. So, on verse 2, tainted wealth has no lasting value, but right living can save your life. At my understanding, right living is about living within your means, living prudently on a budget, financially speaking. Because tainted wealth has no lasting value, it says, right? So if you're gaining your wealth by stealing or by just cheating people out of money, sooner or later, the truth always comes out, right? And somebody, like in these days, might sue a person that tried to swindle them out of their money. Um, I've seen it in like construction work, carpentry, and stuff like that, to where a house is built. It's been estimated to, um, include certain features, um, and then the contractor comes through and cuts corners, tries to shrink the budget or not put as much money into it as like in materials, labor, or whatnot, and then the house falls apart, and that's tainted wealth right there because that person estimated the job to be that much because they wanted to do a good job, or at least there's a whole bunch of codes to construction, so at least to meet codes. And if they cut corners to save a little money so they more went in their pocket, the truth came out later on. Not only did they mess somebody's house over, God forbid that they, didn't injure anybody. So that's tainted wealth right there. Right living, to be the opposite of that, would be just to, all right, so I estimated you for this much, I'm gonna give you this much. It's that simple. Verse 8. The wise are glad to be instructed, but babbling fools fall flat on their faces. People that are wise are always paying attention to what's being said, to what, like, if they're in a classroom, they're paying attention to the teacher. If they're taking a seminar, or even if they're just listening to somebody talk, um, whether they think they know the information that's being presented or not, they're still going to listen. Why? Because there's always something new to be learned. We never know it all. There's always somebody that can add, even if it's one piece, 1/10 of information. Uh, it's worth listening to the whole thing, especially since this other person is providing the information from a different perspective. But babbling fools fall flat on their faces. For starters, fools, while they're being instructed, aren't really paying attention. They think they know it for the most part. I've been such a fool, and I can tell you by experience that uh, when I thought that I knew the situation, like I knew what was going on, oh, okay, never mind. So I would get distracted, listen to the noise inside my head, um, talk to whoever was next to me in class or whatever, and then I'd be completely lost. Like they'd give simple instructions, and then I didn't know what to do. Because, oh, okay, yeah, I know what we're doing. And then all they had to do was change it a little bit, and uh, I would have been completely lost. Hopefully, I've learned my lesson on that. Verse 16. The earnings of the godly enhance their lives, but evil people squander their money on sin. So, to enhance your life, and I don't know evil versus godly people. Um, this verse just speaks to me of being prudent and using your money to enhance your life. Like instead of just buying something that's gonna provide short-term pleasure, the now gratification, it'd be better to invest make a little bit more money so that in the long run you end up with more money and therefore more power to um, live more comfortably. Because money doesn't buy happiness for sure. Um, but there's a difference in being able to pay all your bills and take the vacation versus going to the movies every weekend and then not being able to pay your light bill. Um, yes, you have uh, a nice little time at the movies for 2 hours, but then you stress for 2 weeks because you can't see what you're doing. If you have an electric stove, then you can't really cook. You have to spend more money outside on food, and it's kind of like a vicious circle. Look for long-term gratification, like expand on it, invest, make your money make money, kind of sort of thing. Is my recommendation to you. Verse 19. Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut. Verse 25. When the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. Of course, the godly have a lasting foundation. Our foundation is Jesus, is God, and God never leaves us in shame. And when we rely on Him, He's definitely there for us. That faith, that knowledge that we may not know what's gonna happen during this storm when life hits you, because it hits hard. All you can do is take solace in God and know that He's gonna help you through the storm. The wicked, I would say, instead of our world away, they just cut and run. It's like, no, deuces. I'm gonna save my own skin. And the last verse I'd like to touch upon, the last verse of this proverb, verse 32. The lips of the godly speak helpful words, but the mouth of the wicked speaks perverse words. I can only hope that anything I've said or anything I say is helpful. That is my genuine wish. And I hope and invite you guys, as always, to search for yourself, to challenge yourself, to challenge others. Please comment, question, anything that I can try and search for you will make me stronger too. So I would appreciate it. Thank you. Have a blessed day.